Mate, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Okay, so let's start with the interview, and I will just give one or two liner about me. I'm working as a DevOps engineer here, lead DevOps engineer, and we are mostly working with the AWS cloud, the Kubernetes, Docker, Jenkins, and the Terraform for infrastructure provisioning. And we are following this agile system to sprint planning, and everything for our storage. So just a brief about me, and let's go with your introduction, and then we will come up with interview questions.
Uh, Hello, sir. My name is Amit Kumar. I have total 7 years of experience, in which 4 years of experience of DevOps. I'm currently working in my Veneer systems as a L3 support engineer. Here, my work responsibilities also to I mean day-to-day task is to handle the Jira basis issues. Whatever we receive request on the base of Jira, apart from the ad hoc related issues on the production side. After that, sir, my day-to-day work and responsibilities for working a company based on the Germany name is One and One. Yeah, the One and One dealing on the web applications. So it's my job, sir, to contribute on the CI/CD pipeline with the developer push the code to the GitHub with the webhook. It's a trigger CI part, continue integration with the help of Jenkins. After that, sir, we are built that executable over the Ansible and the help of Docker and Kubernetes. We support our web applications final deliverable over the containers.
Okay, that's great. So, on which cloud you have worked mostly, AWS or any other cloud?
Yes, sir. I majorly work on AWS only.
Okay, what all services have you used in AWS?
AWS, sir, as a part of my working, I used VPCs, EC2 instances, S3 bucket, and roles. I'm roles and policies.
Okay,
These are the majorly services I used. Apart from that, I read about ECS. I have my personal learnings about the ECS, code build, and code pipeline.
okay. So, talking about the EC2, so just suppose that I'm about to launch a EC2 machine, and on this EC2 machine, I have to install Python, correct? And I have to run some of my Python application, correct? And to save the cost, I'll be stopping this particular EC2 instance today after my work. Once again, I have to do the same step tomorrow and day after tomorrow as well. So it's a kind
Okay.
of continuous task what I have to deliver. I have to launch a public server on this that I have to install this Python and I have to execute some Python related commands. I want to automate this process that I do not have to get into this server on the daily basis and I do not have to execute this manual commands to install Python. So how can I automate this particular task?
Sir, we can give the commands with the while installing our EC2 instance. We can give in extra words option. There we can provide our commands directly by H and escalation mark bin bash. After that, we can provide the command so that whenever we try to, sir, launch or start our EC2 instance, the functions which we are providing that automatically installed with the instance.
Where will you provide this command? What did you mention?
It's an extra variable or extra word something that the place I
User data,
miss.
correct? I hope you are talking about the user data.
User data. Sorry, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Thank
okay,
you.
okay, correct. So if I have to differentiate between this public EC2 machine and the private EC2 machine, so how will you
Mhm.
differentiate whether it's the public one or it's the private one? What are the parameters for
Yeah.
that?
So, sir. Here, sir, while we are creating our private cloud environment, sir, VPC,
Hmm.
we can give us, as I name it, sir, we can create a public subnets and private subnets. While, sir, we can create subnet where we are attaching internet gateway, that's a public, which we are not, that's a private subnet. So, for the differentiate EC2 instances, we, sir, when we are while creating a EC2 instance, and the server group, if you are assigning public subnet, so that EC2 instances are public EC2 instance, and if you are assigning private subnet, so that's work as a private EC2 instance.
Okay. Can we make any public EC2 instance into a private EC2 instance without changing its route table?
Without changing its route table.
Yes. So generally you associate
Uh,
this internet gateway,
I
what
mean,
you
sir,
mentioned. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, sir, we can do some changes by NSCL to deny traffic.
Yeah, you can deny that traffic, but I have to make this EC2 itself as a private, like how your EC2 becomes public one. You have this public IP address, you have this internet gateway
Yes,
connectivity,
sir.
then your server becomes public one, correct?
Public, yes,
I do
yes.
not have to touch this internet gateway. Internet gateway will be there in the route
Okay, so
table.
sir,
Yeah.
yeah, so sir, we can disable the public IP options there.
How will you disable that? Once EC2
Sir,
is already. Mhm.
while we creating instance, when you're getting security group there is an option.
I have already created this EC2 instance. It's running. Now I have to make it a private.
Okay, it's when no sir, I never go.
Okay. So, what do you understand by key pair in EC2?
Key pairs, yeah, sir. Key pairs, that is kind of unique identity, or we can say, sir, credentials by which we can launch our, I mean, sir, EC2 instance.
Okay. How your server, like the whatever the EC2 instances you are launching, correct? How this gets IP address allocated to it in the server itself? Like your server has this public IP address, private IP address, from where it gets
Yes, sir.
the IP address.
From where it get IP addresses, sir. It's get IP address with the help of subnet. What subnet range we are giving. So with the range of subnet, I mean, sir, let's suppose we have an option of 16 or 28 or anything, sir. I mean, sir, IP range in the subnet. So that my EC2 instances get an IP with that range of that specific subnet. Sir.
Okay. Can we assign any IP address according to ourselves to our server, whether it's public or private? Like I have to assign a public IP address of my choice or the private IP address of my
Yes,
choice. Can we assign?
sir. I mean, we can, sir, but I never did this. I will never go through. But yeah, we can. I know that we can, but how we can, I never done. So I unable to explain the steps.
Okay, no worries. So if I have a S3 bucket in AWS account A, correct, and I have a second S3 bucket in different AWS account B, I have to
Mhm.
set the communication between these two so that I can replicate the data from one bucket to another bucket for backup kind of thing. How will you establish the communication between these two?
Between the buckets,
Yes.
or I mean, we have other account who can access this bucket from there.
Yes, correct. You have two AWS
Yeah. So
account.
sir, yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So sir, here we can use sir assume roles.
Mm-hmm.
Assume roles. But with the help of assume role, we can access from our bucket A from the account of bucket B, and we can list and check that what's my data is there. We can take.
So any kind of configuration will you do over this S3 bucket or just one IAM role creation and that will work? AGM
I
role,
am role creation and
obviously
sir.
it's. Mhm.
Yeah, there is. I mean, sir, with the role of I'm role creation, there is a specific policies which we need to give in access. I mean, sir, S3 bucket we need to. There is a called permission, so we can provide assume role permission so that with the help of that we can access that from account.
Bucket policy we're talking about. There we can attach
Yes,
this
bucket
bucket
policy.
policy and we will pass this AGM role here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So just suppose that I have this S3 bucket and I have some
Mhm.
archival related data which I have kept in my S3 bucket and that data is of no use. But anyhow, I have to keep it for 180 days at least. And I want that after 6 months, my data should be deleted permanently. How can I
Mhm.
automate this particular process?
Yes, sir. I mean, sir, there is an option in S3 bucket of time setup, so we can set up the time. After that, sir, I mean, sir, with the time limit, post the time limit, data is automatically deleted from our bucket, sir.
It's okay. And what if I do not have to delete? I just have to move the data from one storage class to another storage class in the same AWS S3 bucket.
Mhm. Running storage class to other storage class. I mean, sir, there was an option where I mean, sir, in form of delete, while we are deleting this, apart from delete, we can move this also. There is an option, but I mean, I never did this, so I'm unable to explain the steps, but I know there is an option. If I get a chance or I'm open my AWS, so I can do that.
Okay. So I want that whenever I upload any kind of file or someone deletes any file from my S3 bucket, I should be notified for that. Or there should be some event which should happen and that should print that this particular user has deleted something. Or some of the events should happen whenever I delete something from my bucket or I upload any kind of bucket, sorry, any upload any kind of file in my bucket. There should be
Mhm.
some event notification related system. How can you set this particular thing?
I mean, something like a notification or alarm kind of, right, sir?
Yes.
Sir. That's enough.
Okay. Have you worked with the Lambda function as well?
No, sir.
Okay. What is trust relationship in IAM?
Trust relationship in IAM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, sir, IAM access management. Here we provide the specific, I mean, sir, specific work-related access to the users. So, trust relationship is, sir, kind of, we can say that, sir, kind of authentication authorization based.
Okay. What is permission boundary in IAM?
Permission boundary in IAM, sir, the kind of area in which that user can roam. I mean, sir, let's suppose that if a user which have S3 bucket policy, full S3 bucket access, so the I mean only full S3 bucket access. So then for that specific user, that S3 bucket is only kind of a permission boundary, sir. Apart from this, he is unable to access anything.
Okay. So I have added S3 full access in my IAM role, correct? And then on the
Okay.
permission boundary set, I have said that AWS S3 read access only. So what kind of action
Mhm.
can be performed with the help of this role?
Permission boundaries S3 read bucket only. And with the I mean, sir, when we are creating the IAM role, we are giving policy as a S3 bucket full access.
Hmm.
Here, sir, S3 bucket full access is in.
Okay. So you have worked with the RDS instances as well?
Yes, sir. IDS, sir. I mean, relational database.
Yes, yes. So just suppose that I have three environment, dev, staging, and production, correct? For all these three
Mhm.
environments, we have multiple databases, five for each you can think of. My production database should always be running, correct, to handle the traffic for the real customer for the real application. But for the dev and the staging, I do not want to run it on the weekend. I just want to save the cost for all those databases. And even in the night as well, correct? My team is working from 9 to 5, and after that, database is not being good. So I want to save the cost for all these non-production databases. How,
Yes, sir.
what kind of approach we can implement here?
Uh, database. In database, right, sir?
Yes, correct.
I mean, sir, we can access our database on any nodes, right, from EC2 instances, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so if we have EC2 instance, we need to close it when that's not required. I mean, we can achieve it by, sir, by lambda functions also. And I mean, we can achieve lambda functions by the using lambda function. After that, we perform this with the new with autoscaling.
Okay, no worries. So he mentioned something about auto scaling. So what are the kind of policies we can create in this auto scaling?
In autoscaling, I mean, sir, policies means, can you please elaborate something more, sir?
So
What?
auto scaling has this purpose that the number of servers will be scaled up or scaled
Yeah,
down
yes, sir.
according to
Yes,
your
sir. Yes,
requirements.
yes,
So
sir.
there are different kind of
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
policies what we can implement for this auto scaling. Like if something will
Yes, sir.
happen, the particular number of servers will be
Yeah, sir. I
implemented.
mean,
So what are the different
yeah, yeah, yes, sir.
parameters or the policies we can create in this auto scaling?
Okay. So, sir, mainly, sir, for auto scaling, we can auto scale. I mean, auto scale our instances by the HPO or VPO, virtual or vertical or horizontal.
Horizontal,
First,
yes.
first. Yes, sir. Second, sir, we can mark the incidents. I mean, sir, on which ground we need to auto scale trigger or auto scale. Like,
Correct.
sir, on the basis of CPU, on the basis of RAM storage or something. So here, sir, I mean, Yeah, this kind of policy, sir, we can create. I mean, sir, we can create that policy that if my CPU goes up to 50 or goes up to 70, we
Yes,
need
yes, got it.
2 instances or 3 instances.
Okay, so just suppose that I have to create a policy where when CPU utilization go up to 50%, five
Mhm.
more servers should be launched. If my CPU
Mhm.
utilization goes more than 70%, 10 number of servers should be launched. So
Yes, sir.
how can we create this policy? Like,
Yeah, there is an option, sir. Sorry. I mean, sir, there is an option in auto scaling process that we if our CPU is 50%, we can create a two, or we can if CPU part the 70% auto scale 5 nodes or 10 nodes. There's an option in auto scaling. I know.
okay. Have you heard
In
about a scheduled action in autoscaling?
Yeah, yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Scheduled action is the part where we can provide our limitations, but CPU at what
Okay.
CPU, how
So,
many nodes we want.
okay. So I have a target tracking policy which is created. And target tracking policy is like we have provided the definition that whenever CPU utilization is more than 70%, it should launch six number of server. Correct. That is that
Yes,
is
sir.
that is target
Yes,
tracking policy definition. Then I
yes,
have
sir.
this scheduled action which ensures that every day, Monday to Friday, four number of server will be launched at 10 a.m. and after 6 p.m.
Okay, sir.
the only two number of server will be running. Correct. So at 10 it will launch four number of server. At 6 it will scale down up to two number of server. That is
Yes,
my
sir.
scheduled action. I have a different target
Mhm.
tracking policy where I have said that whenever CPU utilization goes more than 70%, six number of server will be launched, and so on for like when it goes more than 70, like 80%, then rather than six, it will be 10 number of server. One day,
Yes, sir.
CPU utilization was more than 70% at 2 p.m. Correct, and
Okay, sir.
it's continued up to 7 p.m. So what kind of action will you see at 6 p.m.? Whether your scheduled action will behave or the target tracking policy will work, or how many number of servers will be running at 6 p.m.?
Can you please come again with questions, sir?
Yeah. You have two policies created in your auto scaling. One is just scheduled
Yes, sir.
action. This second one is
Yes,
target
yes.
tracking policy. Target
Target policy.
target tracking policy has a definition that it will launch the six number of server when CPU utilization is more than 70%. It will launch 10 number of
70.
server when CPU utilization is more than 80%. That is target tracking
Yes, sir.
policy. There is a different
Mhm.
scheduled action policy which says at every 10 a.m. in the morning it will launch four number of server, and at 6 p.m. in the evening it will scale down to two number of server.
Mhm.
Now one day CPU utilization is 75% and it
Yes, sir.
continues after 6 p.m. as well. So at 6 p.m. on that particular day, what will happen? How many number of servers will be running?
Here, sir, target policies are work, and there is no six no six instances are working at 6 p.m. at that time.
Okay. Okay. So we have worked with the Kubernetes as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
So in which case we can use this daemon set and the stateful set?
So demo sets or stateful sets we can use if we are, I mean, sir, if we need any kind of monitoring or database application running in our sir, all over server. I mean, sir, every node in the cluster. So we are using daemon set. Specifically, it's I mean, sir, working on the basis of I mean, sir, helpful in the case of auto scaling. Because in the auto scaling, there are I mean, sir, some kind of I mean, in morning there is a 10 nodes and there is some kind of traffic coming, and in next morning it is 14 or 15 nodes. So with the help of our demonstrates, we can get the data.
Okay. So I have three environments, dev, staging, and production. And for my production environment, I want that whatever the pods are coming against the production deployment, all should go to
Mhm.
this four number of server only. So how will you ensure that all these pods which are coming against the production one should get deployed or should get scheduled over these four nodes only?
Okay, we have 4 nodes. I mean, we have multiple nodes,
We
but
have
we
multiple
want to
nodes, but
all
we
the
have, yeah, the all the production related
yeah.
pods should get scheduled over these four nodes only.
for I mean, sir, we can attach our nodes with the labels, and by this label, we use this label in our deployment set, such as while creating the containers, I mean, manage the label, and with the help of label that specific on the nodes where we have a specific label, our codes are creating label.
Okay. What do you understand by this pod affinity and pod anti-affinity?
Yeah, pod affinity and anti affinity is sir, kind of we can say community or a specific label of kind of thing where I mean sir I mean yeah I mean sir let's
Yeah,
suppose
yeah.
that we have a database, a specific label for database applications. So all with the with the affinity, if you're a trigger affinity, if you're creating other database labels, so it's searching for that specific label which is belong to database and creating on the I mean sir closer to the ports which are related to database.
How does this RBAC work in Kubernetes?
Yeah, RBAC sir, it's a what do you say rollback access.
Role-based access control.
Yeah, rollback access control system, sir. It's work like sir same as a IAM in AWS. I mean sir we provide the role there, and it's I mean sir working same in Kubernetes also. Here we provide the roles on authorizations and the I mean sir whatever required to the user. So accordingly we are providing the authorizations to the users. Like someone has to access Helm charts and other. Someone doesn't have to access.
Okay. What do you understand by the service in the Kubernetes and what are the types of the services?
Yeah, service. I mean, so service is a kind of a networking entity in the Kubernetes, and there are majorly obviously sir, the numbers are four, but majorly we are using three type of services, such as services as a cluster IP, node port, and a load balancer.
Okay. So when you select this service type as a load balancer, what happens? Like what are all the components get created and how this service type load balancer works?
Yeah, when we create sir, our I mean a load balancing service, then there is a load balancer which is got created automatically in our AWS. And while with the help of ARM of a load balancer, we can I mean sir click on the AWS and check that our nodes are working properly. And whenever we send any request, I mean sir, there are let's suppose that there is 100 requests come to our applications which is connected with the load balancer. So it's a load balancer work to route the traffic. I mean, specifically with the nodes by balancing.
Okay. How will you troubleshoot your target group unhealthy scenario? Like you have attached the multiple target groups with your load balancer and you are observing
Yeah.
that your target groups are behaving as a unhealthy. Their status is unhealthy. So how will you
Yes,
troubleshoot
sir.
it?
There are targets which is unhealthy. I mean, sir, we can check the we can check specific ports and I mean we can enter in the specific cluster and we can check the ports which are unhealthy. We can check the specific logs for that with the I mean kubectl logs and after the port name. If port have multiple containers, then we can see. I mean we can check -c and then container name specifically. We can check the logs. We can do.
That is for your pod, correct? When the pod is unhealthy or container is unhealthy. For that you can check. I have to check the target group unhealthy. Like I'm not in the Kubernetes. I have just created a load balancer. I have created target groups, and I'm trying to do this path-based routing, correct? In our load balancer, application load balancer, and
Yes, sir.
there
Yes.
I'm saying that my target groups are unhealthy. They are not able to serve the traffic. They are not able to accept the traffic. So what can be the possible causes for that target group to be unhealthy? Okay, you have worked with the Terraform as well.
Yes.
Okay, what do you understand by data block in the Terraform?
Yeah, data blocks are we are using for the let's suppose that there was one manual thing is created on the AWS. and we need to, I mean, sir, take as a reference. Let's suppose that there is manual VPC created in the AWS,
Okay,
and we
okay.
take that VPC
Okay,
reference for creating our.
I got it. So I have to connect my EC2 instance with the help of Terraform, and then I have to execute some commands over this EC2 instance itself. I do not have to do anything
Mhm.
manual. I have to do all these steps with the help of Terraform. So how can I do?
Mhm. I mean that the EC2 instances are manually created, right?
Okay, yeah, I
Now
can.
we
Yeah,
need to attach that. Yeah,
yes.
so sir, we can import that EC2 instance with the help of Terraform. After that importing, we initiate and create. I mean, sir, making changes.
No, no, I have to connect this EC2 instance with the help of Terraform. Like uh, to log in into this EC2 instance, what you do? You do the SSH hyphen I, then you keep your value,
Yes,
then
sir.
EC2 user at the rate your IP address. I have to do all
Yes,
the
sir.
same stuff with the help of Terraform. I have to even run the commands over this EC2 instance with the help of Terraform only. How will I do?
Terraform will do. I need to connect this. Windows.
Okay. So what are the different kind of provisioners available in the Terraform?
Different kind of provisioners.
Yes. Okay. I have three different modules for VPC, for EC2, and for RDS. I have to
Okay, sir.
write this module in a way that whenever VPC is created, then my RDS and EC2 modules should be running, correct? All these three modules are being called from one file main.tf. I have to
Mhm.
pass the output of like VPC modules, like VPC is being created at the same time and EC2 is being created at the same time. Obviously, EC2 will require this VPC related configuration for the subnets and other details.
Yes.
I have to pass
Yes, sir.
all these values at the runtime. So how will you ensure
Mhm.
that everything should run in parallel and they should not get blocked at least? And even you have to pass the output from one module to another module. So how will you do this?
Sir, we are using dependencies here.
Mhm.
We are, I mean, sir, we are write the script and provide EC2 instance dependencies over the VPC. So once the VPC created, then sir, our EC2 work is
What
started.
will be the syntax for marking this dependency?
Instances.
Yeah, how will you tell Terraform that it's the dependent one? Okay. How will you pass the output from one module to another module?
From one module to another module.
Yes. Like once BPC is created, I need to pass the subnet related ID to EC2. When you are creating this
Yes, sir.
EC2, you have to select this subnet ID,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
So how will you
Right.
pass this subnet ID into your EC2? While the BPC and EC2 both are being called through the main.tf one file only, and they
Yes, sir.
have been executed at the same time.
Yes.
Okay. What do you understand by CMD and entry point in Docker?
Yeah, CMD and entry points are both are similar commands in Docker, but but I mean sir, here the major difference is I mean sir, we can bypass CMD easily, while we cannot bypass entry point easily, sir. Only we can bypass entry point I mean sir, by external use of force.
Okay, I have to override the command of entry point as well. How can I do that?
I mean sir, for override the entry point, we can give the external I mean I'm sorry, external command while creating our image. We can give that a specific instruction for override the entry points.
Okay, what do you understand by mutability and immutability in Docker?
Mutability and immutability.
Yes. Out of add and copy command, which one is more secured in the Docker?
add and applicable. Which one is more secure?
Secured.
So, sir, yeah, secure one is a copy and helpful one is a add, I think, because with the help of add, if you're providing any link, just add, just download from the internet also without checking that it's secure or unsecure. So, copy is the secure, more secure than that.
Okay. How do you manage the sensitive information in Jenkins? Like I have to store this API token I have to use. I have to use some password related thing. So how will you ensure
Mhm.
that sensitive information is not like it's not a public one. I have to manage this credential. So how will you like manage all this
Yeah, so
sensitive
there is
information?
an
Hmm.
yeah, so there is an uh, credential plugins in the Jenkins. With the help of credential plugins, we can manage our sensitive information like password or
Okay. So if I
or
have
I
a
mean we
Linux,
can also use words.
if I have a Linux server and that Linux server is like very slow. So how will you troubleshoot this slow performing Linux server?
Linux server. I mean, sir, I can check that which one is the, I mean, which process is consuming more memory or CPU with the help of PS minus EAF or we can running top commands also. So, I mean, to check the top contributor on the CPU or RAM. After that, sir, we can check PS minus EAF if there is anything in WARM or something. And any, I mean, the process is in WARM, we can kill that. Take a good step.
Okay, so I have this certificate, SSL certificate, what I need to implement. So, which kind of secret will you prefer to store this certificate related details, whether the Kubernetes secret or the AWS secret manager, which one will be preferred?
Sir, I am here, sir. I use TLS secrets with the Kubernetes. TLS secret from Kubernetes to
Okay.
execute the certificates.
What is the advantage of Terraform over the cloud formation?
Yeah, advantage of Terraform with the cloud formation is, sir, I mean, sir, we can say that the cloud formation is work specifically work for the AWS. So we can say that the advantage with the Terraform is to remove the dependencies from the AWS only, sir. I mean, by with the use of Terraform, we can use. We can work on hybrid clouds like Azure or GCP. While Terraform, cloud formation only work over the AWS.
Okay, so can I write one code and that code can be utilized to provision the infrastructure over AWS, over the GCP and Azure, all three?
Yeah, we can. By providing providers, different providers, we can. So,
Okay, so like I have to create this EC2 instance and I'll be writing one resource
mhm.
block for creating this EC2 instance. And the same code can be utilized with the different providers to provision the infrastructure over different clouds. That's what you are saying, correct?
No, I mean, sir, there are some specific changes also on the behalf of with the respect of cloud. But
Okay,
after
got it.
that, we'll providing. Yes, sir.
Okay, so if I have to store some sensitive information in Kubernetes, so what can be
Okay, sir.
utilized, the config map or the secrets? And if you are going to talk
Secrets, sir.
about best 64 encoded in secrets, so I can encode this value and I can like store
Mhm.
this in config map as well. Correct. You can
Mhm.
online encode this or by running your commands, you can encode this and then you can put it in the config map. Why you should choose
Yes, sir.
secrets only?
Yeah, that's, because I mentioned for the in future deployments, if we have secret, we are using that secret only with the respect of future deployments also. While with config map, we import one time, but it's a config map.
Okay.
I'm
Can
very sorry,
can we
sir.
delete image out of which my container is running? And if we delete, what will happen? Just answer both.
Yeah, easily, sir, we cannot delete. We can delete by using force, applying force for a deletion. And after deletion, sir, I mean my container was running, but we cannot perform restart for container.
Okay. Any major challenges that you have encountered during working as a DevOps engineer, and what are the learning out of that?
Yeah, I'm sir. While as I told you that in my earlier project, I'm working with the over the web application. I suddenly I'm one day I suddenly checked that there is one container which is not running. So I
Mm-hmm.
checked that log. It's OM killed OM killed is there. So we checked that there is an what we can say memory shortage is there. So we are just checking that our applying with the resource quota and resource limit, and then reload the container. After that, running fine.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Amit, for the interview.
Okay, sir.